guided. What should you carry? What should you wear? What's good for you? You know, at least some reference.
Good afternoon, Maria.
Afternoon, Richard.
And how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Good. Happy to be here.
Guys, welcome to Aronex Media. Today, or this morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be, we have a travel coach named Maria, but I won't even tell you too much about Maria. Let Maria talk about who Maria is. So, Maria, tell us.
Wow. First of all, Richard, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this time. And hello, viewers. This is Ragia Falls, a travel writer, enthusiast, I love adventures, and travel coach. I've traveled a bit. I've been to over 60 countries, 61 to be precise. We are not counting. Around the world, and that's apart from my home country, Kenya. I'm Kenyan born and bred, raised, and lived here most of my life. I've also traveled extensively across Kenya. There are 47 counties and I've been to 46. The only one remaining is Marsabit. However, it should be noted that this has been over a long time. I usually describe myself as a travel addict masquerading as an employee. So sometimes I'm busy at work, whereas I prefer to be traveling more often than I already do. And so I love the outdoors. I love the outdoors. I love excursions, activities. You will rarely find me lounging by the beach, but yeah, that's me. Anything that is going to raise adrenaline or take me to a new place, give me a new experience, that's what I'm looking forward to. And you know, done it for maybe 20 years, and now looking at how I can share my experiences that can help others to also enjoy the same.
Awesome. So now 61 countries.
Yes.
So what got you into it?
Oh my God. Long story. I think it has always been within. Let me say to some extent, to a large extent, it's in the DNA.
Okay.
Because my dad loved to travel a lot as well. Maybe not as much, but him being from the generation that was just getting or graduating around independence. But even then, he did quite a bit of travels. He went to Europe. He took the family around the country. And so that, though it didn't inspire as much enthusiasm in everyone, for me, it was just, you know, the DNA passed on. That was one. Second, when I was in high school, we had an exchange program to Germany. And that required that we host German students for 6 weeks in Kenya. And then we would go for 4 weeks. The experiences I had in Germany, that way back when, just ignited, the love for travel in me, and I've never looked back.
Oh, that's awesome. So, of the 61 and the 46 counties, what would you say was your most mind-blowing?
Oh my goodness.
2 or 3 mind-blowing experiences in travel.
Oh God, you know, it's like being told which is your favorite child. It's very difficult, because every country is an experience. So it's hard to say favorites, but what I can say in general is that I have enjoyed so I've been to 4 continents. Asia, Europe, Africa, and America. America is a great place to travel through because of the infrastructure, whether it's the roads or the tourist facilities available, and then stuff to see. They really have created a lot of things to see, and so it's really has been fun. I've also been able to do a lot of fun travel there because I have a friend who lives there who also loves travel. So I've done a lot there. Europe is also great because it's small, so you can cover a lot of countries in a short time. So what I did in America in 3 weeks is one country, whereas in Europe I could cover, there's once I did 11 countries in 2 weeks. So it's, the infrastructure is great, the countries are small, and passing through on the Schengen visa is awesome. I have to say that. That is a good place to travel once you have that possibility or, the freedom if you're on the, the right visa. Africa is difficult. Africa is vast. The visas are just a project on their own, but it is the most delightful to visit because the cultures are similar. The vibe, the people, the environment, it just makes you feel at home, even with those challenges. So the hardest part of Africa is getting visas, because it's even surprising how many countries you have to get visas for, and then getting around because they are just large countries. So roads may be good on the highways, but once you start trying to travel around, facilities to visit and see are distributed. There isn't a lot of tourist infrastructure that is well organized in most of the African countries. Certainly Kenya is outstanding on that front, but that's the challenge with Africa. But as for fellow Africans, if they could do their bit, honestly, we would not even need to go to those, Europe. It's good to visit, other places and see. But it's so nice to interact with others, see their different culture. We're Africans, but we are very different. Their cuisines, their dress, their mannerisms. It's really enjoyable. Asia is also good because it's low cost in general. What is expensive about Asia is getting there because it's far. So we have to do either 2 trips or 3 trips. Layovers and pass through, or direct flights are quite expensive. So the challenge with Asia is really getting there. But once you're there, it is relatively cheap to move around. It's just that you stand out. So wherever you're going to be having stairs, you're going to have people curious about you.
You don't look like anyone's brother or sister.
Not at all. This is the interesting thing. So I guess at the top of my head, that's what I would say.
And then do you organize your own travel or do you use an agent? How does it work for you?
Excellent question. When I started off, it was either like now that German one, everything was arranged. Then eventually we did our first trip. Okay, I've done school trips, campus, that kind of thing. But the first one I did with the kind of travel that I do now was to Egypt with my sister. And that one, because we were blank, we used an agent to organize everything. Then with time, as we started to build confidence and as resources became available, because then what you could find on the internet was dicey, you couldn't be sure, no confidence. But with the rise of internet resources, it has made it easier and cheaper. However, I have to say that traveling there and accommodation are easiest to do online. And that I do myself. When I get there is when it varies. I rarely book in advance, but what we have learned to do is alert the establishment before we go. We are interested in doing some tours, do you have suggestions or do you have a tour guide? Or we get there first because, circumstances can change once you're already there. So, or we get there and then start to, feel around. Can you get us a taxi guy or a tour? So it varies. But traveling from where I am to the next point, that I do entirely on my own. And I can use online resources which could be direct to the airline or any of the booking sites. Yes, because now I've, I guess, done it long enough to become confident about, making bookings, and if things change, how to go about adjusting, like if there's cancelled flights or or change of plan. But I have also reached out. Africa is again a difficult place, so I have actually reached out to individuals online that I've done within Africa once, especially that was to Senegal. Didn't know anyone, didn't know how to go about moving around there. I just went to one of these booking sites, and there was a guide who received raving reviews. And so I just got in touch with him and planned everything, and he took care of us.
Excellent. So in the beginning, I mentioned that you are a travel coach. So is that experience that you've built over time what you bring into coaching? And maybe you can tell us what is a travel coach?
Yeah. Okay, good. I didn't mention that because of my love for travel, I went on to start up a travel agency. And that was interesting, exciting, because it was about exploring what else I can do with my knowledge, experience that as you've mentioned. As I said, I've been an employee working in the NGO space, and I've worked in several locations, including Somalia, South Sudan, such exciting places that people really look forward to working.
Correct, obviously.
So in the process, I started feeling like, I can make a business out of this. I travel, and people seem to, need these services, so let me start. So I did start a travel agency and was able to organize trips, mostly in Kenya, let me say entirely, and Tanzania. I got a partner in Tanzania. So I've been able to organize safaris, people to stay over, foreigners. I even started to, widen the space. It has started with people I know, like, you guys or, friends. Then it moved to strangers who got references, and even those coming from abroad, I would get, emails or interest from people who are based in the US, Canada, wherever. And so I managed to run that for about 4 years. So in the process, when I quit work to focus on it, I realized that it isn't what I thought it was. First of all, obviously as a business, it was not going to bring returns as fast as I had expected. So obviously from the financial side, yes, it was a struggle coming from being an employee. But most important, what I loved about that experience is that it confirmed to me that this is not what I really wanted out of a business, because it was confining me to a space. And whereas there are things you can do on the move, when it comes to organizing and coordinating payments, bookings, and that like, I felt the strain when I once in a while happened to be away from Kenya and organizing trips for clients. Payment systems, communication, just keeping track. It required that either I would have to employ people to manage that, but ultimately the business, I would have to focus on it, and if I was to do a good job, I'd have to serve my clients. If I was to succeed, I'd have to be in one place for a long time. So that was going to prevent me from traveling. And so I realized that's not what I wanted to do. So this other interest emerged after I moved away from the travel agency. I stopped doing that. I connected with some of my mentors, and now I happily forward clients to them, and they are happy. I moved on to considering another option that can still enable me share my experience, but this time, rather than organize trips for my clients, I would rather help them to build their confidence to do this for themselves, because if I have done it, someone else can. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are able to do this on their own. Why would I recommend this? Travel agencies are providing you a service, and because they're providing you a service, they have to add up, do their markup. So that makes the travel that much more expensive. And obviously there are pros and cons. They'll organize, they'll do the itineraries, but you're entirely dependent on them. So if anything goes wrong, your anxiety is about trying to reach them, trying to have them, fix things up for you. But the more you're able to organize this for yourself, the lower the cost, but also the more flexible your itineraries are. You're not fixed into a certain schedule. If your trip, for any reason, if you feel different or an event happens, it shouldn't. Of course, there's no ideal circumstance, there's no 100%, but it makes it easier for you to be flexible on making changes or doing things differently. But the best part is that you also learn to allay many of the fears that people have about travel. A lot of people would love to, they can afford to, but they just don't take that next step because of the fears out there, all these stories they've heard, like women, is it safe for them to go out? Is it it's expensive, or it is where do I go, which one should I choose, how do I organize myself? So seeing that this is something that I can do even if I'm on the move.
Yeah.
Because this I can do as a digital nomad.
Correct.
I just connect with people.
Yeah.
Those who would like these services, they just need to reach me online, and we can work together.
And how do people reach you?
Thank you. I have a Facebook page, Travel with MKay. MKay was really, the long and short of it is just that I tried Travel in Maria and there's many others. So MKay is short for Maria Kamau. I just, threw in the MKay. So I have Travel with MKay on Instagram, Travel with MKay on Facebook, and up and coming website is currently in the process of being set up.
Correct.
It is operational. So you can also reach me or travelwithmk@gmail.com. Yes,
Perfect.
yes, you can write me an
WhatsApp number, phone number, or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. No,
Working on it.
Good.
Yes.
So you mentioned you're an adrenaline junkie.
Yes.
And I was following you on Facebook, and I saw you had posted something really awesome about Ragia. Tell us more about it, and hopefully you can read what you posted, because I was really touched
my goodness,
and moved about what you wrote about Ragia. So do you want to tell us about it? Do you want to read what you had written?
Let me read, because I wrote a lot,
Yeah.
but I may not say everything about it. Do you want me to share my experience of attending, or what I enjoyed about Ragia?
What you enjoyed about Ragia, and what you want everyone to know about Ragia?
First of all, I did know about Ragia until I caught up with some very innovative hike enthusiasts here in the name of Aronax.
Yes.
Who happened to be, they've been doing their thing while I was away. When we used to hike those many years ago, there was no Ragia on the list. It used to be a Longonot, it used to be 14 Falls. That was like, the most exciting. So the great thing I liked about Ragia, it was new to me, at least. It was a drive out within 2 hours of Nairobi. It was organized. I love that. I don't have to, it's just, they send, the details, ask you for money. Of course, they're going to ask you for money, but it's not a lot. So it's affordable. I remember they have to hire transport, get guides and all that. And then it's a group, so that was fun. And then water is involved. I love water. Waterfalls, more than one. And the hiking experience. In nature, in a forest. I mean, it was just it was just ticking off. It starts in Sasumwa Dam. We accessed through Sasumwa Dam. And I've never been there as well. So for me, it was just the excitement of getting to know my country better. And these places have been here. They have not been created. They've just been here, just that we didn't know about them. I'm going with an organized tour. They're experienced people on board who even, when you ask silly questions, they are kind. Silly questions like, shall we go with, is single-use plastic allowed?
Oh my God.
Ooh, I was almost tossed off the tour. I should not even have asked. But I am now well educated that
there's no single-use plastics in Kenya, guys.
None allowed in the national parks.
Not in the forest, not in the ocean, not on the rivers, nowhere.
No.
Yes.
May I emphasize what was emphasized, that you're not telling them? The worst invention known to man.
Correct. All single-use plastics. Worst, absolutely worst.
So no carrying water bottles, don't carry straws, don't carry all those horrible things that are not good for the environment, because we have a beautiful environment because we keep those out. So I had to get, so that's the other thing, you get guided. What should you carry? What should you wear? What's good for you? At least some reference, yes? We had to carry snacks and so much liters of water, what to wear, and if you don't have what is recommended, where to get it. So the information is there. And then there is walking, so you're going to expend some energy. I love that. I'm an outdoor person. We are going to be out. Yes, we are burning calories. Even though we might replace them, because I did hear people whispering that today there are no rules, eat whatever. But the excursion You're in a new environment. It's green. It was hot, but it was good because the green makes the air fresh.
Correct. Yeah.
And the waterfalls are not immediately visible. So there is some work in looking for them. And that's the idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just come see, there they are, we take pictures and go. No, there was some work to be done. So it starts nice, it starts easy going. We had to wake up very early. Yes, any hike around, even if it's within, if you want to maximize your time there, it's got to start an early day. It's got to start early. So we drove out for about 1.5 hours and we passed the wonderful Rift Valley. It doesn't matter how many times I've been there.
Yeah.
It's always beautiful.
Yeah.
So we got there. You also get guided by the rangers. They mention elephants and hyenas and you know that kind of thing. There are a few of them. We don't expect to see them, but the gun they are holding tells you that just in case, yes, they will be on hand to make sure they don't harm you. Neither of you is harmed, not the animals. And not you, the visitors. Then we found a big group. I mean, my goodness, we thought we were alone. We were one bus and there were like 3 or 4 other bus loads. So it tells you how popular an excursion it is. And so we started nicely, easy path. They won't tell you that there will be some sliding and some descending. Yeah, they're smart people. Yeah, I told you they tell you everything, not everything.
Yeah.
So there was some descending. There was some of them you have to get onto your butt. Yes, as in case you know you attract a lot of gravity. You know yourself. So standing may not be the ideal to descend down the steep inclines.
That works, right?
Yes, anything. There's no shame here. I must mention that we were told we need a change of clothes. To carry a change of clothes and leave it in the bus. We soon knew why.
Yeah.
So we are lucky it wasn't even raining, but it was wet because the place is green and there's water flowing. So get on your butt, grab the trees, grab a person, you know, do whatever works for you and descend, and it's all worth it. You hear the falls before you see them. Oh my God, when they come in front, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How beautiful. How serene, you know, free falling, maybe 50 meters, 100 meters, I don't know. Yes.
At least 80. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
80.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was number 1.
Yeah.
And that was just like, you know, the first fall. Spend, you know, take a break, take it easy, enjoy, and then we embarked on the other one. So what goes down must come up. So we had to scramble our way up and out towards the second one, which is bigger than the first one, and where we were going to swim. Some of us who have. So remember, I'm adventurous.
Correct.
And so I was looking forward to that one. So finding the other one, more mudsliding, but this time there's some Tarzan style swinging branch to branch. That was fun. Yeah. Whatever gets you forward. There are a lot of young trees, saplings, branches on the way, so you can grab hold of them. There was guides to help us and other fellow hikers, and so everyone's there to help, which is a good thing, you know, better than if you're alone. So that's why I encourage people to join this kind of guided hikes. And once you get there, really, honestly, it's spellbinding. You can really just stand and stare because it's open, it's wide, free-flowing water, beautiful sound, sun is up, the air is fresh. There's just joy around. The atmosphere is just, you know, these are all strangers mostly, you know, apart from our group, but even amongst us, not like we knew each other from the beginning. So even in that kind of space, it's just relaxing. It makes you take a silent moment to just reflect on how beautiful nature is.
But you also went in for a swim, eh?
Oh, I was not going to be held back.
Yes, exactly.
I did ask for the executive changing rooms. Unfortunately, there's no such thing. So we had to do some muscle wrenching, folding in the corner behind a kikoi held type, you know, shift from a hiking gear to a swimming costume. And the great thing about what happened then for me was that once I changed, there was another lady who had carried her costume but wasn't too sure. She could see it's mostly guys. She'd had it cold, but when she saw me in my costume, she was like, I'm doing this. If you're doing this, I'm doing this. So it's also good to inspire each other. And that was fun. So I had already done my corner changing. We took her to another corner. She did her changing. And we, you know, embarked, headed to the waters. Suffice it to say, freezing temperatures, be forewarned. But once you're in and you keep active,
and you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It was warming. You know, the thing is just to keep your body active. And so we gravitated towards the actual falls. So it's nice to see them from afar and nice to feel the water, but under them, it was like hailstones.
Ice cold, huh?
Ice cold. You can't stay under that for very long.
Refreshing.
Yes, very, very refreshing. Actually, even when, you know, by nature, any water you're going to get near, you're likely to taste.
Yeah.
And of course, I got some, and it's so refreshing. It was like this, I can drink, you know, direct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that took up snacking time, because by the time we'd finished enjoying, some people, I won't mention, I will not point, no names, were like, it's time to go. So we had to get back, you know, change quickly and, you know, prepare for the return. And by the time I looked at my watch, I think it was like 17,000 steps by then. So it is a distance, it's an excursion, it's fun. Of course, by then you're worn out, but worn out in a good way. Correct. You know, you came, you saw, you conquered, and you've had fun. Yes, and you've enjoyed.
Awesome.
And in the process, even learned that part of our group we are mutual friends. So that was also lots of fun. And you meet people who inspire you, like some people I would say here. And this circumstance was born out of that chat, just hiking along, enjoying, you know, sharing our dreams and aspirations and experiences. And
and here we are.
Here we are.
One thing I really like about your Facebook page is the, you know, the amount of thought that you put into your posts. Your posts are not the usual, hey guys, this is where I am. I think you always put a lot of thought into your post. Do you mind reading an excerpt of the post from Ragia? And guys, please look for Travel with MKay, because it's unbelievable. So just something small. No, just, I mean, don't give them everything.
I know.
I want them to find Travel with MKay, really look and read her posts, and you'll be so inspired. So just something small from that particular post.
Okay. So I'll read something from the start and then something from middle and then end. Okay. So here's what I wrote. That was Tuesday, about 2 or 3 days ago. So here's how to chase and catch Ragia Falls. Join a fun group of hike adventure enthusiasts, mostly adults under 70 years or kids over 16. You decide where you fit in. Prepare for an early morning drive out of Nairobi for about 1 to 2 hours towards Ragia Forest in Kiambu County between 6 and 7 a.m. Do not carry single-use plastic. Don't even mention it, else chief organizer, who declared it the worst invention ever, may throw you out of the bus. In any case, they are bad for the environment and not allowed in the Kenya National Parks. Use hard case plastics, bottles, or hydration packs. After payments and cautionary pre-trek debriefing by the park rangers, a mention here and there about hyenas, elephants, and other wildlife that are present in the forest but don't expect to see, join the masses setting off into the forest via a clear, well-used green path surrounded by tall bamboo thicket on both sides. Lastly, I'll read, immerse yourself in the astounding yet calming beauty of nature, breathing in fresh air and listening to the loud silence, apart from the footwear shuffling through the lush greenery on the path. Oh, one last one. Do not run, whether you're Morife or not. And maybe wonder why they call it a chase. Why do they call it chasing falls?
You know?
Yes. What else can I read?
I think leave them wanting more. So
yes.
Start logging.
Yes.
I mean, like the page, find Travel with MKay.
Yes.
Read everything else. She's got amazing things about a lot of her travels. The Congo one is also really good.
Yes, DRC.
Unbelievable. So guys, please find, like, share Travel with MKay. You will not regret it.
Thank you.
Maria, thanks for doing this.
Can I say one more thing, just to alert them?
Yes.
This excursion doesn't need a visa. and will not burn a hole in your pocket. So lose the excuses, get out of town, and have fun discovering one of many Kenya's hidden delights.
I love it.